I also started recording. We had a request to record the meeting, so I just started.
Oh, yes, that's a great idea. Thanks. So for those who need to claim the credit, the steps is sent it to the Slack channel. It is basically you need to join the Cloud Innovator, the program. Just when you go on that page, click become a member. It will go through a bunch of steps. At the very end, say claim the Google Cloud Skill Boost credit. I think it will award you about 35 credit. Should be way sufficient to run those code labs. For those one, if you don't need credit, it's showing a no cost. You can just continue to move on to start the lab and read through the instructions. If you have questions, you can ask questions. Oh, by the way, I think one of the tricks is try to using Chrome or using the Firefox. It will saving a lot of trouble. I think the Safari sometimes have some weird issues. So if you can using Chrome or Firefox to run the code lab.
Yeah, so just to reiterate, I use Cloud Skills Boost all the time, and yeah, the first thing I do is have people open a incognito window, because what's going to happen is you're essentially going to log in with the username and password it gives you, and that's going to conflict with if you have an existing Google account logged in. It's just going to get super janky and it's going to be a mess. So just open a private browser, an incognito browser, and then go to cloud.google.com and sign in using the username and password it gives you, and do everything in that incognito window. Just have this one open for like documentation and copy and paste. Yeah, this is the best thing to do.
Yes, that's also great suggestions, tips. Sometimes since this one create a new account, it probably messed up with your existing Gmail account or any account. So it's good idea to start a new private window or incognito window. The way on Chrome you can open is just move to the Chrome, and I think the file, and there's a new incognito window. That one will open a private window. You can do whatever over there.
So how many of you are in this page right now? If you can raise your hand. Okay, we still have a couple of people left. Okay.
Yeah, you're basically being given a burner username and password. Like that, this account you're going to log in with is like Monopoly money. It's like a fake account.
Yeah, so basically whenever you start a lab, it generates a temporary username, password, and for that 1 hour and 30 minutes. And oh, by the way, for the lab, once you start it, you cannot pause the clock. The clock will running down. You cannot pause it. You cannot stop it until either you run out of time or you complete the lab and you can end the lab. So just be aware. Once the lab started, you have to continue. Of course, you can run the lab many times you want. Either free or take 1 credit. And since you have the credit, you can run the lab again and again. And many times I encourage you guys, even later on when I go back home, you can rerun the labs again and again. And also there are a lot of other code labs that you can that credit. You can run any of the code labs on this website. Again, if you are on this page already, you can see there is the open Google Cloud Console. I think this is the one you can right click it to open it in the private window, or copy paste the link, go to the private window, and then to open the Google Cloud Console, and make sure using the username and password generated here. Do not using your own Google Cloud or anything. It must be using these to generate the username password to for the code lab.
So, how many of you are in this page now? Okay, I'm guessing most of you are. So, Bill, I'm continuing.
Yes, I think you can continue. Can you share your actual window right now? You're not sharing your window.
Yeah, I haven't started, so I was just waiting for people.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, you just send it to your email and then paste the credits.
Okay. So once you are in this page, right click on it. So I'm not gonna open it in Chrome, so I'll just copy the address and I go to Firefox. I press this button and here I am. Once you are here, you will see it automatically gets populated with the username you have. So this is the same username I have here in the Google Cloud username, this student 9A460. You will see this is the same, and I continue with it. Once you continue with it, you have an option to add password. This is the same password I'm copying from here, going here, and I paste it, and I go. Once we are here, it just asks me that, okay, welcome to your new account. I say, I understand. And this starts your temporary account in Google Cloud Platform. So once we are here, we are in this project. So let's actually verify we are in the right project or not. So you will see this project ID, the Quick Labs GCP 04. This one should match with this. So for me, this matches, and we can start with the project. Now, these are the objectives of the lab. We will develop a Python application using Streamlit framework. We'll install Vertex AI for Python, and we will use the Gemini Pro and the Gemini Pro Vision model to develop certain applications, and then we deploy it in the cloud using Cloud Run functions. So this is what we did. We actually opened the console. We opened everything here. Once in the console, you will have to activate a Cloud Shell account. So what's a Cloud Shell? This is my Cloud Shell account. So once I press this, it will activate a Cloud Shell account for me. So I press this button, and it activates a Cloud Shell. Here I have my Cloud Shell activated. It is provisioning. If we go back, this is what it's doing. Click the Cloud Shell button, and then we have a certain active list of active accounts and everything that we can do. So here, once we have the Cloud Shell activated, this will look something like this. I'm going to have this on the right side of my screen so that both are visible at the same time. Yes, I do not need this. Now, everything we are going to do is going to be in this Cloud Shell. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Also make the type a little bigger so that you can read it easily. Yes. Okay. So once we are in the Cloud Shell, first let's see what is the active account name. So we just copy gcloud list. I paste it, and here it asks us for authorization. This is important because we are going to use this a lot in future. So once I authorize the Cloud Shell to use the GCP, this is the account information we get. Again, we can verify this is the same account. If we look at our original path here, we can see that if it is the same account, if it's the same, we are in the right account or not. For me, it is the same. So A46E, A46E, and everything looks correct. Now we also need to check our project ID. So pasting this gcloud configure list projects will give us all the active projects. Right now, the only active project this account has is the QuickLab GCP for this ID. We again can verify we are in the right one by going back and checking that if it is the same one. And if you look at this, the verifier, it looks the same one. So we are in the right account. This is important so that you actually know you are in the actual test QuickLab account and not using your own resources. So once you are done with that, we can actually start. So first we need to configure our environment and projects. So if we just copy and paste this in the Cloud Shell, this will configure, this will actually show which one project we are using. This is the Cloud Shell configuration. This is the QuickLab, the same one we just verified we are in the right one. And the region, US East 1. This is also important because Gemini is not available in all the geographical regions. So this QuickLab is designed to be in the correct region. You all are also in the correct region right now. Once we are in this step, you will see this button, check my progress. If you are in the correct QuickLab, if you have done these, if I press this, check, it should check and say that if you have done it or not. If I do this, you will see I have not done something. Please enable the relevant service APIs, which is this step. So to do this, we have to activate certain APIs for gcloud. And what exact APIs we are activating, if you see, is that, let it activate first, is we are activating cloud functions. We are activating the storage component. We are also applicating the AI platform. So certain things we will use this project is for when you push something to the cloud run function, we need the cloud function for that, the cloud build for that. To save certain things, anything we are gonna use. So we are gonna use images and videos. So we need the storage component for that. We need to debug our application if we need to, or if we need to see what's going on, that log, we need the logging API. So that's the logging API here. And to do anything with Gemini, we need the AI platform, hence this. So now we should have everything enabled. So you have the operation finished. Now, if I press this, it should say assignment completed. So it did say that. Now we're going to set up our application environment. So first we check that the Cloud Shell is authorized or not. Remember the screenshot you just remember the modal box you just saw like 2 minutes back, we showed it, you should authorize your cloud. If it did not authorize it, it will ask you to do that. Because it's already authorized, we see that, okay, this is already activated, this account. Now we are going to create our app directory. This doesn't have to be Gemini app. You can create anything you want. But I am going to stick with it because this is how the QuickLab is going to check that if you have done your job or not. And we just change directory to that application. And we also create a new Python virtual environment. So why we need the virtual environment? If you have already played with any Python application where you have to install libraries from PyPy using pip or something, you will know there is a very good possibility if you do too much development on the same development box, you might have conflicting version number of same packages which you are using. So virtual environment kind of lets us virtualize that and just build our own small silos for that. This will also be very useful when we containerize our package for deployment. So there are two ways to use Python virtual environment, either the VN, which comes with Python 3, or the virtual environment using Python 2. So for now, I'm going to just use the Python 3 VN here and create a project. So this should create the VNF, and then we will have to activate it. So this should create the VNF, and then we just run the source, and this activates this virtual environment application. One easy way to kind of verify it is that whenever you activate it, you should see something like this prepended to your bash that should say that, okay, this virtual environment is right now active. We now install dependencies into this application, and so this is how you all should just follow this cloud like skill boost application, how like copy paste it. I don't like it, so I'm gonna go in a different way. So what it does is that we are going to install requirements through our requirement.txt file. So this is that file. How this creates that file is through cat command. I am gonna actually use vim to do that. So I'm just gonna create this file. This is my file. This is right now empty. I'm gonna insert whatever I need. So we are going to use these three required libraries. So the Streamlit, Cloud AI Platform, and logging. So I just paste all these and I save this. And now my requirement.txt should have it. How I check it? So I can just see my requirement.txt and I can see those three are present here. So that's done. If you are uncomfortable with Vim, I highly recommend just copy paste this command. This will automatically create this file and append everything inside it. Now we want to install all the requirements. We can actually do this individually as well. So if we do this, what it does is that pip install goes into requirement.txt and it reads it and it installs everything recursively. So if we press enter, so you will see it installs Streamlit, and now it installs all the dependencies and everything for AI platform and logging. While we are waiting for it, you will see that we are using very specific. So, for example, in this one, you'll see Streamlit doesn't have any numbers associated with it, but the AI platform and the cloud logging has very specific version numbers associated with it. That's because this skill boost was written with very specific libraries in mind when it was written. So to make everything work perfectly fine, we are sticking to that very specific version numbers. When you build your app, you don't have to build it on very specific numbers, build it with whatever latest you have available. And then when you containerize it, or if you want it to be frozen, then put very specific version numbers of whatever was latest at that time. So wait until all the packages are installed and we see that it has been installed. I'm back in my bash. So now we create an entry point for our application. So this is again using cat command to create a new file called app.py. I can copy paste it, or this time I'm just gonna use this to paste this everything here. And once I press enter, the file should automatically be created. If I do a ls, let me do a clear first. If I do a ls, I can see. Yes, I can see that there is app.py which got created. If I want to see what's inside that, I can do this and I see yes, everything is inside. If I want to see it in a better way, here, everything I pasted, it got created and we can work with that. So that's what we did. We just saw the contents of the app.py file. You normally don't have to do the whole path, but you can do that. So we will create like 4 categories here: story, marketing campaign, image playground, and video playground, kind of to showcase all the capabilities of the Gemini API. So first we develop our first tab, which is going to be the story. Again, I can do this, or I'm also gonna show you how to do the same thing using any text editor. So if you use Vim, which I'm doing, so I'm just creating a file app_tab.tab1.py. If you see previously there was only app.py. Let me actually show you that again. So we only had the app.py file. I want to create another one. So I just do this and we have another file. Now I'm just copy pasting this whole thing. If you decide to follow me by copy pasting, be very careful about not copying this. These end of files are required for cat to understand where the content is beginning and ending so that it can append the content. We are not using cat, so I'm just copy pasting the real content. But otherwise, I highly recommend just copy the whole thing using this copy. So back here, I just pasted everything. Let us take a little bit of time to go through what I just copy pasted. So we are just importing the Streamlit application. Then we have Vertex AI. We are importing generative model and some other libraries. So as you saw in the last talk, how we can generate anything is by invoking the model. Before that, we are generating a prompt for the model. The prompt is that since we are making a story, we are adding a certain specific parts into the story. So we have something like character name, what type of character, personality, where does the character live, kind of building up the background of that character. Once the character is done, kind of building out background, we have these two things, the creative control. So as you saw in the last talk, when you have the creativity control, or rather the temperature is high, by high means more like around 1, more than 1, it will try to be more creative. When I say more creative, the probability distribution of the words coming out from the LLM will be very diverse. And if the temperature is low, then it will try to be very monotonous. By monotonous, it essentially means the probability distribution of words are going to be very less, which essentially means as a computer science student is going to be, your output is going to be more or less deterministic. So you are going to get more or less the same response for every input you are going to give. Since this is a story, we probably want a more diverse story. So with the same prompt, we probably still want more different kind of stories. But we still have to control that. So that's the creativity control here. Now we are building up our actual prompt, which will go to the LLM. So this is a story, the length of the story. All these are coming from the background we created here. So this prompt, once it's get created, we return the temperature and prompt. Then we just call it in the model. So the model takes the temperature based on what we gave it here, and then it just passes it to the generative AI Gemini 1.0 Pro, and it gets the result back. So let me save it. So this is going to be in a tab 1. This goes back to the app.py where it actually invokes the model. So here, this load model is where it actually goes back and it gets this text model, generative model. This is where it actually gets invoked. Okay. Now if we see, we have two things now. So we only had app.py. Now we have and tab.py. So this should have created our first tab. Let's go back to the model. View the contents. We just saw the content, so I'm not going to do that. And now we have to develop the responses, how it actually, what are the configuration options for that, how it will actually call the model. So I'm just going to copy paste it, paste this, and it will create the file. If I do this, now we have another file called response.py. Let's go inside it and see what it actually is. So what it does is that it imports certain things from the generative model, the content, generation config, general model, image, etc., etc. and then it creates a different functions. So this one is going to be used to get the text response, and we'll go through this a little bit later, but let's look at the response. So this is the response, and this is the prompt. This is the prompt we got output from the previous Python file we just created in tab 1. So this is going to be coming here, and we have a configuration setting, and then we have a response. Let's go back to what the configuration setting is. So these are this generation config, generation view model. The safety setting, if you see here, these are our safety setting. So you can actually define the settings as that, okay, if you block harmful content, if you block hate speech, if you block dangerous content or sexually explicit content. These are safety features built into the LLM so that you don't have to worry about it. So if you change any of this configuration, the LLM will automatically try to not generate these kind of contents. Again, this is LLM level implementation. For some content, you probably will need to have your own kind of filters as well on top of it. Okay, let's go back. Once we are done with this, we just saw the contents, and then we want to run and test it. So to run it, we use Streamlit, which we already installed, and we just copy this and we paste this. This should run the Streamlit application for me. Once I run it, now you can, so this application is running, you should be able to kind of see it. Now to view it, there are two ways to view it. One is what you can see in this Cloud Skill Boost page, which is press on this web preview on port 8080, and it should click like create a new page, and here we should see this Vertex AI Gemini API. So this is what we just created. There is another way to access it, which is this link, but not localhost 8080, because this localhost is not the localhost we are accessing. But if you control and click it, this should also open this automatically using the link from your Google Cloud Console. Now let us see what we have here. So we have a character name, Mittens cat. Mittens is a very friendly cat. And Galaxy. These are all the codes we had already inserted. And these are all the different tabs. None of the tabs have anything because we haven't created them. We have only created app_tab1, which is the story. So let's see what we can. So we start with something.
We just been labeling the app one by
one.
So he's on story.
We have a character named Mitten1. What type of character? Okay, cat. It is a very
It's not labeled. So it's empty.
Cat and Andromeda Galaxy. Okay. Length of the story short. We can have something thriller, sci-fi, and I want a high creativity, and I generate the story. So once we press this button, you will see something like this running, and then you should see a story eventually come. Okay, here is the story. Adventures of Mitten1, a Galactic Odyssey. So we have a prologue, chapter 1, chapter 2. So we have quite a lot of text here. So we see this is working. Once you are in this stage, you can press the check my progress, and it should say assessment complete. Till now, how many of you are in this stage or have progress to this stage? If you can raise your hand. Awesome, a lot of. So this is our foundation. So from now on, what we will do is literally just build other app tabs. So we have our app one tab, and we'll just create it. So if you go here, you will see when we have the server running, this will have all the outputs we see here. So that's also coming up as a log here. So now let me stop it. So if I do Control+C, it stops my application. If I refresh this page, this will also be stopped. Okay, which is good enough. Let's again clear this and see. So now what we will do is that just create the other tabs and the functionality for that. So each time we create a new tab, we add things to our response utils to know how it responds, and we keep on going. So let's start our tab 2. I'm not gonna do this, so I'm just gonna copy the tab name. And here we are. I'm gonna copy the code so that we know what we are doing. Copy it, paste it. Yes, here we are. Let's go over the code very quickly. Very similar. We generate a prompt like tab 1. So we have, these are the header files for the Streamlit. So we have using Gemini 1.0 text only model. So I just add this. Is it a text only model? Anyway, generate your marketing campaign. What is the name of the product category, certain things. So these are all the things which will be passed on to our Streamlit to build up the page for us to customize it. Once we have it, we create the actual prompt which will be used to generate the actual response from LLM. This prompt won't be visible in the UI, but we are going to use this from the backend to use all the information we got from here to dynamically create the content. So we have something like generate a marketing campaign for the products, the target location, and all these very specific meta information we will pass into LLM to kind of generate the marketing campaign. This is important because your story or whatever content you are going to be creating will depend very much on how you prompt the LLM. So making this prompt, making them more clever or making them more safe is also a very important task. Once we are done with it, this returns the prompt, and then rest of it is just the marketing campaign tab and everything. So I save this one, and I'm not gonna do just to see because we already saw what it does. Now we also have to enable this in our app.py. So here, this is our app.py. You don't have to follow me, just copy paste it. This will automatically append this. But if you do, what we have here is that with tab 1, this is the first rendering. We also needed to render the tab 2. So we need this to be inserted here. So we have from app tab 2 input exactly what we render, and we add it. Once we are done with it, we save it, and now we can test it. So I copy this, paste it. This is the same thing. I run it, and if we go back and refresh this page, this should be running. Now when I go to marketing campaign, now we have it. So using Gemini, so the changes we did is actually visible. Anyway, so generate your marketing campaign. These are the inputs we already had, but we can change it. What is the name of the product is clothing, and we have all this, and brand sentiment, humorous, 1000 seems nice. So I do generate a campaign. Once I do that, you will see it took the name, Dress for Life, not so it tried to generate whatever we have. So mission, brand guideline, campaign overview, ideal customer, campaign outcome, marketing, competition, call to action. It got more or less everything we wanted. And it also gave certain social media examples and what to build. So this is working. So now we want to add more things to our campaign. So tab is completed, and now we go to our image playground. If we go here, there's nothing here. So that time to change that. I can stop my Streamlit, and now we want to add our app tab 3. I copy paste the content, I paste it here and go out. So let's see what we are doing here. The same thing using Gemini Pro Vision. Now with recommendation, we are passing certain images to the model as part of the demo. These are already hosted, so I don't have to manually add it. This is the reason we needed the storage API, because these are stored in Google's storage, Google Cloud Bucket. But you can have your own URLs in this as well. So here we have the room image, certain chair images, and certain we'll very soon see what these are. And then we have a prompt list, which describes that, okay, these are chair 1, 2, 3, and a prompt description there. And that's essentially it. For this one, we want to actually see what prompt was used. So we have an option where in tab 2, we expose a prompt used, and we expose the prompt list that goes that gets created. So this is the prompt list that should get out there. I save it, go out, and then we don't need to see this because we already have it. Now we also need to change our response utils to tell Gemini how to, not Gemini, tell the application how to actually even interact with it. So this is my response utils. And we had till here. Now we also need to add another function for this one. So I just copy paste this code, go here and paste it. So now we have two functions. So first one was get Gemini Pro text response, and now we have Gemini Pro vision response. This is going for the same model. If you see, the temperature is as low as possible to make it more deterministic. And then we send the same response and get it back. Let me save it. And then we need to modify our entry point to the app, so which is in our original app.py. So we have tab 3. We need to have tab 4. Tab 2. We need to have tab 3. So from app tab 3 with tab 3, copy paste the code. So this should add the tab 3 here. Once we have it, we should have the image playground and we can run it. So let's go back to my previous application. Yes, once I run Streamlit, if I refresh this page, okay, marketing campaign is here, image playground is here. So we have furniture recommendation. We don't have anything on these yet. So these are the image links we had just provided. We already provided all these, and we expect a recommendation for this. So okay. Oh, okay. So if you face this, just refresh this page. So we had this issue in the last time as well. So there can be two issues which you can face. One is what I just faced, and another is this one, which is documented here. So this one happens because GCP console is still provisioning your request. But the one I faced is what happens for the first time. If you just create it and if you just refresh this page and generate recommendation, it will automatically show you the result. So here we see let's see the response. The chair is not suitable for the room because industrial style. This is the room. Yes, correct. The second one is that suitable because it's cream colored. Yes, the colors match. Third is not suitable because wooden stool does not match the boho style. I didn't know this is called boho style, but okay, I agree. Suitable for the room because it is brown, upholstered chair that would complement. Yes, it does complement this table, I guess. So this is correct. Let us see what the actual prompt that went to the LLM. See, if you go here, this is what it went. Consider the following chairs. These are all the chairs it went, and then only recommend the one provided, provide your recommendations, etc., etc. If we go back here, you will see this is the actual response it got, all the chairs and everything, and this is the response we got. Chair one not suitable, etc., etc. And this is exactly how it showed us in the response. Okay, nice. So it's working. So let me close it. Again, check your progress. Assignment completed. One thing I will notice is that the more this gets completed, you will notice something which is increasing on this side. This is 15 by 100. This is something which you also will see because I am like, I changed my browser's window size. You won't see it here, but there should be something on top. You will also see your points getting increased. So this is essentially that point. Let's go back to where we were. Okay, so we completed this task. Now let's try to analyze an image. So to analyze this, I'm just gonna copy paste this code. By now you have understood what mostly we are doing in different tabs. Once I do it, it just appends this part of the code to our app.3, which we already have made. And this sends an image of oven, which is this one, and this builds up, gives it certain instruction of how can I reset the clock, etc., etc. We will soon see how it works. Now to check it, I just rerun my application, refresh the page, go to image background and oven instruction. So the only thing we provided here was this image, which is the oven image. And then we provided a prompt. How can I reset the clock on this appliance? Provide the instruction in English. If instructions include buttons, please also explain where those buttons are physically located. So this is the prompt which will go in the background to that LLM. So this is what we are asking. Regenerate instruction. The actual prompt is not this. So here what we got. To reset the clock in this appliance, follow this step. Look at the clock button on the control panel. It is located on the right side of the panel. Below the kitchen time bar, hold the clock button. Clock will begin flash. Number button. Press clock button again to save the new time. I would say good like recommendation. If we go for the prompt, this is the one prompt we just provided it. And with that, we provided an input image, which it worked on. Good. So this works. We can pass Gemini image and ask it to kind of analyze or understand the image. Once that is done, let's analyze some more interesting images. For example, ER diagrams. So let's stop it. And I'm gonna do the same. We're gonna send a image for the ER diagram, and then we're gonna pass a prompt for it. So copy paste, and this should have added this. This is the image which it should have had. If we run it, refresh, image playground. If we go to ER diagram, now we have this image. This is the same image we sent the link for. And in the image, we want to document the entity and relationship in the ER diagram. So we press generate documentation, and it generates a documentation for me. So I'd say that's pretty good. It generated that documentation for me, and it works. So I'm gonna deviate a little bit from the code lab to see something else, which it works or not. You don't have to follow me here, so you can just look at. So this is what we added at the last. That this is our ER image. Document the entity and relationship in diagram. Prompt. This is our prompt. Document the entities and relationship in the diagram. Now I'm gonna add something else. Let's see what it does. This is intentionally very vague. This essentially, if you tell a human, they will ask you a bunch of questions that, okay, what do you even mean by that? This is a entity relationship diagram. What do you mean by SQL relationship for this? But it's LLM, so let me see what it does. So I just save it, run it again, go back, refresh, image playground or ER diagram. Now, if you go to the prompt, you see document the entities relationship in this diagram, also write SQL query for this. When I press generate documentation, you see a diagram, and it created a SQL query for me that would return all the data from the databases. What database it doesn't know, but it created something. So bottom line, we can use this also do disclaimer, do not trust whatever code is coming out of it right now. But bottom line, if you have something, you can not only analyze it, you can also act on that analysis as well. Okay, let's go back to our track, go back to our cloud skill boost, and let's look at math reasoning. So this is going to be our other part of our tab 3, which is this math reasoning part. So let's add that. So I'm just gonna add this. This is gonna add this to tab 3. And this is the image that went there. And if I run this, yes. So we have something called most beautiful equation. Ask the equation, a math question, extract the formula. What is the symbol right before pi? What does it mean? Is this a famous formula? Does it have a name? Okay, this is a prompt we are going to send. Instruction is more or less the same, extract, etc., etc. What is this formula? Let's run it. So what it got was, okay, e to the power I pi plus 1 not equal to is this. It didn't show properly in stream it. If we go here, yes, this is what we got. And the symbol right before pi is I. It is an imaginary unit, which is mathematical constant. Okay, good enough. Yes, this is a famous formula. It's a Euler's identity. Good enough. So we have done till this. So now we can see that we can use Gemini for understanding math or understanding an image which has a mathematical notation. Can it do something else? Let's see. Again, I'm veering off a little bit from the tutorial. So let me do this. Okay, follow the instruction. Is this a famous formula? Okay, good enough. I want something else here, which is Okay, let's test it. So if we go to math reasoning, this is the same. Extract the formula, what is the symbol, etc., etc. I intentionally did not change this, and then we run it. Extract the formula. Okay. What is the symbol? Okay. Is this formula? Okay. And write a Python code that implements the formula. Here you will see it cheated a little bit. It used a CMath library. Is it correct? Try it. But yeah, so if you have something like this, you can probably create a code directly from image understanding. Again, disclaimer, don't trust a code that comes from LLM. Okay, going back to our tutorial.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to read.
Okay, let's now play with our generating a video or generate like use a video understanding part. So we are not actually going to generate video. So this is going to be our tab 4. Till now we have only tab 2, tab 3, the original tab 1, and this is going to be tab 4. So let's create it. This will create tab 4 for us. So here we have a tab 4. So it just passes some video link and also creates certain placeholders. We can see what's inside tab 4. I would rather see it like this. Okay, so this is the video description. We are passing the video, and then we have certain prompts that we will do with the video and just setting up the environment. Now we also, since this is a new tab, we again have to do the add the entry point to app.py. So this was our tab 3. So I'm gonna add our entry to tab 4. So copy, paste, save. So this adds our tab 4. Now when we run the server and refresh the page. Okay, let's go to video playground. So we have a video. This is the video we added. If we run it, it runs. Okay. So generate a description of the video. This is a little bit misleading, but okay, let's first see what it does.
No, there's a, I think almost
So the video is a small harbor in Turkey. Water is deep blue, sky is gray, all true, protected by the long breakwater. There are a number of boats moored in the harbor. Video is taken from a drone, provides a good view. Good enough. If we go to the prompt, we will see what am I looking at, where should I go see it, what are the other top 5 places, what looks like it. Okay, let's try this. Yes. This time you will see it provided a very different response. This time it uses exactly what am I looking at? Beautiful coastline with a rocky shore and a lighthouse. Where should I go see it? The video was taken in Turkey, popular destination. What are the other top 5 places? And it came up with some recommendation. Now the tags highlights, these are all empty, so we need to make it. So check my progress. And then we go to video tag. So let's stop it. Okay, so we are going to add this code to the tag 4 just to add the video tag code. Again, it sends a video. Inside it, it sends a prompt, which we'll see what prompt is going to be sent. So I copy it, I paste it, it adds it. And I run server. Okay, we have the video tag. Let's play the video first. So somebody is getting up. Taking pictures of things in the table, probably of the plant. Okay, let's see the prompt. So the prompt is answer the following questions using the video only. What is in the video? What objects are in the video? What is the action in the video? Provide 5 best tags for the video and provide this in a table. Okay, let's try it. What's in the video? Man is taking picture with a camera, table with a camera, table, chair, vase, plant, candle, statue, rug, and camera. Table, chair, vase, a plant, a candle, a statue, a rug, okay, a camera, okay. The man is taking picture of the table with the camera. Okay, fine. Photography, art, travel, nature, Mexico. Interesting. It got Mexico from it. So this is how we can generate tag from it, and you can play a lot more with it. Try to add some other prompts to see what other things it can glean from the video. Let's go back to the code lab. And we have done it. Now we want to also generate like highlights from the video. So we add this to our tab 4. This is going to send another video and get a highlight of the video. So let's see what video we did. We go to video playground, we go to video highlight. If we run the video, okay, there's a trend running.
Yes.
Okay, so this was apparently a clip from a promotional video for what I can tell is from Pixel's video boost feature, but I think they call it something else in the video, but I don't remember what they call it. So let's see at the prompt. Answer the following question usability. What is the profession of the girl in the video? I think she was a photographer. Which features of the phone are highlighted here? I would say video boost. Summarize the video in one paragraph. Write these questions and answers in table format. Let's see if my answer matches with Gemini. I think it won't. Okay. So what is the profession of the girl in this video? Photographer. Nice. What features of the phone are highlighted here? Night sight and video boost. I forgot about night sight. And the video is about a photographer walking down the street at night. She's testing the new feature of Pixel phone, night sight and video boost. She's impressed with the quality and video, and she's able videos that she's able to take. So if you see, the summarization actually has aspect from the whole video. So at the end, when she was expressing that, okay, how awesome this is, it captured that. In the beginning, when they were just walking through the streets, going to different places, it also captured that. So this is kind of highlights what we can do using the model. Going to back to my code lab. Okay. We created a highlight and we end it. Now let's create or let's generate location from the video, kind of like try to guess where the video was taken to create our own geolocation. So we add this and the tab 4, and then we run it. Video playground, video geolocation. So this is a video. It's a very short video. Some cars are going. If you would ask me, I won't know where this was taken. So what is this video about? That I can tell. How do you know which city it is? What street is this? What is the nearest intersection? I can probably tell how I would know this, but I won't be able to know anything from this video. So what's the prompt? More or less the exact same thing. So a bus driving through a city street in the rain, that you can tell. Signs and the building in the background. So that is probably how I would have started guessing where it is, but I cannot read anything in this video. The LLM can. So what street is Wellington Street West? Wellington Street West and Bay Street. It probably got it from this small sign which I cannot read. Apparently, it can read by OCRing. So that's something we can do using video geolocation, but this is not magic, so it won't work for every video unless it has some identical markers in the video. But this showcases the ability of the LLM. So we go back, check our progress, and we have completed it. Now we have completed mostly everything in this application. So all of the tabs, everything is working. It can generate a story, it can generate a marketing campaign, playground, everything is working. Now this is running inside this Cloud Boost. The moment I stop this application goes away. And also this URL is probably not something I should share with everybody. So we need to have a way to share it with everybody, or like have a way to actually deploy it and run all the time, not in a cloud lab where you're running it from a shell or from any other application. So we're going to package it and run it through Cloud Run. Why Cloud Run? Because Cloud Run is serverless. If some of you have played with AWS Lambda or any serverless application before, you will know how like cost beneficial it is to run the application only when it's needed, and you don't have to provision a very specific virtual machine for it. So first, let us go back to our Gemini app. I'm not going to do it because we are all already inside it. Then verify the project and environment. We don't need to verify it, but for the sake of the thing, we just echo it and we are in the right one. If these are not set, run the command to set them. We don't need it. We are already set. And now we need to set the environment variables, which we will use for the Cloud Run. So we set these and we just echo them. So this automatically gets the service name, a repo name, which we are going to use. Now we're going to Dockerize our application. So this is going to Dockerize it and also publish it into artifact registry, which is Google's kind of Docker playground. Once you do it, everybody should be able to see it. So we pass it, it's working to Dockerize it. And it's done. So it created this repository for us. Now we configure this with our authentication, which the authentication credentials are already placed. So this automatically configures all the credential helpers for all the services that will be needed for the Cloud Run, the Cloud Step application. Now we actually build our Docker file, which will be deployed, which will push into this. So we just define our Docker file. This is again using cat. You can use Vim to actually, let's use Vim. So So this is going to be our Docker file.
Sounds like a feature.
And this is everything that will go into that file. So I just copy paste it. Let's see what it is. So it has the Python version number, which the Docker container should use. The port it should use, the directory from where it is going to get the Python files, which for us inside the app, what it's going to copy, what it's going to install inside that container, which is our requirement.txt, and the entry points, which is for us the Streamlit application and the app.py file. And it also exposes exactly which port, and the server address is 0.0.0. So essentially, it is going to be exposed to the internet. Let us save it, and we should have our Docker file saved. And then we start building our application. So, okay. So once we press it, it's going to get all the files. So you will suddenly see we created like only 4 or 5 files, right? Why does it have 15,000 files with 465 MB, which it needs to compress? So these include all the PyPy libraries, all the Python libraries we installed, all the modules, everything which is required for this, and all the credentials and everything which is required. So once this is done, so it's getting built. We'll have to wait for a little bit. So once this is done, we will actually deploy it from the artifact registry. This should be done, and we can just deploy it just using the service name and the project ID. This will take some time. So how many of you are in this stage, like in this screen till now? Okay. Okay, most, I guess. So if while this is being created, if you have any questions, I don't, you can post it in the chat, but I don't know if everybody's in the meeting. I am not sure.
Yep, we can, we have a microphone, so if people have questions, raise your hand and I can come over to you and give you the microphone. All right, we got a question. Sir.
For the geolocation one where you upload a video and then it tells you like where it is, I was trying to modify the video source to so right now it's asking for like a .mp4 where hosted on the Google Cloud.
Yeah.
I was trying to swap it out and put like a YouTube video on it and see if you can tell me what's happening. At the moment, it doesn't seem like it's supporting it. Is it something that you're expecting it to work, or is it we have to give it like a proper media file right now?
So it depends on how you build the application. So for example, YouTube link will essentially, just imagine as a from Python standpoint, what it is. It's a link to a web page, right? It doesn't know that web page contains a video, how it is like implemented or anything like that. I have like when I do other like tutorials, you can actually use it. So you can use something like YTDLP to actually download the video temporarily directly from YouTube and pass it on to the LLM to actually work on it. Also, something else, if you want to do, if you don't want to like burn a lot of tokens, today we are using code lab, so token is not a concern or pricing is not a concern. But if it is a concern, what you can do is that you can use something like OpenCV or FFmpeg to extract certain like portions of the video, certain images from the video, pass it to the LLM, and then ask questions on top of that. So those are already, I would say, those are more kind of like infrastructure parts. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So for this video processing feature you're using with this developer account, how many, like what's the quota? Like how much you can use it for free?
I mean, it kind of depends on like how big the video is, how much uh, like how much token it's consuming. Um, I would say from my experience, it's very less. For example, I can say you exactly how much I have to run it and see it, but I have given like tutorials like this using videos of like a 15 minutes video for Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that. And I was barely like 6 or 7 cents is after the whole tutorial is the kind of pricing I saw in my Google Cloud Platform console. So I would say it still depends on how much token you are being processed. But yeah, I mean, for sending one video and running understanding on that, that was essentially kind of what I got charged.
And you can look up like what's in that free tier. So I know for a while it was like a 15. Yeah, so I'm just saying you can look up like what's in that free tier. So for a while it was like a 15 megabyte video, and then they've slowly been increasing it by like how many megabytes the video is. I think it should be somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is kind of so all the LLM pricings are kind of like token based. So this is what you will see in the official documentation. This is the video input. So here you can kind of guess this for per second. From here you can probably calculate how much or what like you need. It also depends on how big the video is based on how big are the context you're using. So you can kind of calculate from here. Also, the pricing changes based on which model you're using. If you are using Flash 1.0, so that will vary. So I would say use Flash because this is much cheaper, and for most tasks, this is like very good.
Were you asking, by the way, for AI Studio or for Vertex? Oh, using the Vertex APIs. Yeah, you can go 1.5 Pro just went GA recently, like either today or a couple days ago. So you can use the full 1.5 million now. So you can go as reckless as you want on it. Well, they put cat because you can't just because it's expensive, right? So that big context window comes with costs. So I know they've been putting different for AI Studio. You'll have to look it up. I think you can pay for 1.5 Pro, and then in that case you're going to get billed for whatever you use. But if you're just like going pure free version, they put like little caps on it because it's like, technically you could use all this space, but you at some point Google would be losing money on it, so it's like they cap it.
Okay, so going back to our application, we see the status as success. Yay! So we have it built. It took 3 minutes 18 seconds. Okay, so no, I don't want 3 minutes 18 seconds. So let's push it. So this will deploy our application to the Cloud Run service, and we will get a link ready for us with everything taken care of, the routing, the URL, everything, and all the authentication, everything being taken care of. Also, while this is happening, I want to add to what we were discussing before. If you do use these models, so one recommendation is use the Flash model, which is much cheaper than the other two. But also, if you do use these models, there are, Vertex AI and Gemini API right now has a way to actually check how much token you are going to use. So before you actually even deploy, you can actually pass it the video or the image and run that command, and it will tell you how many tokens you are going to use. So you can kind of calculate your cost before you deploy an application.
Yeah, I think just to size it, one of the announcement videos, it was said that all 3 of the Lord of the Rings movies can fit in 1.5 million tokens. And then I think there's a little bit left over. It's not like an exact measurement, but that just gives you an idea of how much video can be stored in the context window. Yeah, it's 1.5 million today, and they're doing Gemini 1.5 Pro is 1.5 million, and then they're expanding to 2 million soon.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is so we actually just deployed the application, and you can play with this. So also, if you want, like if you are sending a video, right now there are 2 ways to send it. One is what we used here, just to send a video as a file, but there's a file API for Gemini which will allow you to send a bigger video. For example, a video of like maybe 1 hour. So if you want to send something like that, you have to use the file API. So let's see our service URL. Okay, so this created a nice looking URL for us. Gemini app playground, something run app, and still running. Okay, so it is running, and let me see if it actually is running. So generate my story. Okay, so it's calling the API. Let's see image. Math. Okay, I modified the math, so this should be nice. Yep, still the same Python code. Let's go to video, the geolocation specifically. Let's try to generate it. Okay, this works. Okay, so now we have generated. So this is not running here. Like this is, we are just in that normal application. We are not running the Streamlit from here. So this is an application. If I send this link to somebody, right now they probably can access it. They will be able to access it. So actually, if you want, you can just look at this in your machine, you will be able to access it. And some of you who have deployed their own applications, share it with others, they will be able to access it. So this is right now running in the internet. So we are done with that. Check our progress. And assessment is complete. We are able to run it. Yay! So this is our application. Everything is running. Before we close it, I wanted to show. So I'm just going to close this Cloud Shell. Normally, if I close the Cloud Shell, anything running in Streamlit should be forced closed. So this is going to be not available. It's already not available. But since this is not running here, this is running in Cloud Lab, this should still be available, and it is. Nice. So we know it's running in Cloud Lab. Let's see the question you had, like what can be the pricing. So this whole code lab, what we did till now is these are the number of requests we raised, around 0.33 requests. These are the estimated charges, which is even now till 0. So we can kind of see what we used here. Got it. If you go to activity, these are all. Okay. These are all the logs. We have this because we had that log library added. So this gives us very minute like control over what we are doing. Yes. This gives us minor control over what we are doing. Everything, if we want to debug it, we can actually go and see what's happening. We can go inside it. We can also see if there were any errors. These are the errors we got. The IAM changes policy, most of these while we were trying to authorize it. And yeah, so see there were concurrent policy changes, hit rate, etc., etc. So you can actually check everything through this. This is why logging is very useful for us. If you go here, API and services, if I go to enabled APIs, these are the APIs we enabled when we started the project. These are not automatically enabled. We manually ran this command, gcloud command, to enable all these. The cloud build, logging, compute engine, artifact, and you will see how many requests we used, all the details on it. So this is kind of like a very good way to see how you are actually going to use GCP, what is happening, and like dig deeper into it. This is not part of the Cloud Lab, but I just wanted to show you, since this is actually provisioning a full-fledged GCP cloud like instance for you, you can actually play with it. This is our student profile. This will be deleted once we close this lab. That means when we close this lab, this link will also stop working. Okay. So we are end of our lab. Congratulations, you have created a Python application, installed Vertex AI, and these are all the things you did. If you want to learn more, these are a lot of good, useful cloud labs, skill boost labs you have, which you can follow. And now with that, I'm going to end my lab. I'm going to make it bigger. So I have 4 minutes left. So I end my lab. Are you sure? I end my lab. Cancel. Okay, I'm done. Once you end the lab, you will see you have accumulated 130 points here. And this is kind of like what you did. So, okay, nice. So once you are done with it, you all probably will have something like that. Now let's go back to our application. Forget this. And let's retry it. It still is working. So our instance is still alive. If we try after 4 minutes, this eventually will go away. So, but you see, we have closed the lab and everything is gone. So this is not running from Cloud Labs Cloud Shell anymore. Okay. With that, I'm going to end the session. Let me know if you have any questions.
That was very good, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we have one question.
Yeah, just turn it on.
Yeah, thanks for a great session. So I think the recommendation as we went into this was to use incognito mode to pull up the lab, or was that just to get the developer credits?
That was mostly to get, so pull up the lab because it's mostly to pull up the labs. The developer credit you will get anyway. The reason for that was that every time you start a lab, the Cloud Lab will create a new like throwaway account for you. And
Okay.
what Google does is that every account you add in Google, next time you add, that account stays there unless you manually go and say that, okay, remove that account. So your like browser history just gets like cluttered. So
Right.
avoid
Okay.
that. Yeah.
So, but if you want to keep kind of retain your progress or keep track of which labs you've completed, you kind of have to remember that outside, because every time you go in, you're creating a new account.
Oh, no. Actually, that's not the case. So that will be
Okay.
retained here. Let me show you. So This is my account. Okay. Like this is my Cloud Lab account. So this one I'm using my original email ID. If I go to dashboard, dismiss, this will show all my progress and everything. So this will have everything, whatever you
Okay.
have done, the learning path, uh, your profile. So this retains everything. This retains all your activities, whatever you have done, all the assessments and everything. It also gives you badges, which are kind of nice to share. So I can kind of share in my LinkedIn profile. If I want to share it, it will automatically create something like this. So so this will create like verifiable credential URL, credential ID. So you can add it and people can actually just use, sorry, I am not, okay. So once you click it, this is how it should look like. So this automatically gets created when you click that link, share to LinkedIn. So this creates this name, organization, the date, expiry date, credential ID, the URL. So once I add it, anybody in my LinkedIn can press my credential and they can get a verifiable badge that I actually created, like actually completed it.
Right, right.
Yeah, so the badge should look like something like this.
Okay.
So this is kind of nice, I would say.
Cool. Thank you.
Any other questions?
You guys have? I was gonna ask another one.
I have to set up something first. So I just put a video on the San Diego Slack channel. It's like a link to an MP4 file. I was trying to swap this with like, trying to use this video and see how the model was doing. I'm not sure if I did it correctly or the model just doesn't understand what the video is doing. I just asked, was it about? It was saying the same thing about like the last video, a bikers riding a bike. Maybe I didn't do it correctly, so that's why I want to see like should we do it correctly so I can use it
So
for some other purpose.
So I just got your video. Let me see it. Okay. So ideally, what it should do is that, probably what happened is that since you just passed the MP4 file, it's not in the global cloud bucket, right? So how that one is configured is that it will get it something from the bucket, and we hard coded that into app.py, right? So it only gets that. So that's why. But if you want to see something like this, give me a second. Let me share my screen quickly.
So basically, if you want to using your own videos, you have to upload to the bucket.
Okay, so this is like a collab I created to kind of like explain how the video generation works. I'll quickly run it, and let me also upload your video because it won't know where the video is. So what I'm doing is I'm just running it. Wait a minute, how did it should not have worked, but okay, let me try it. So this is the video you gave. Okay.
So you're saying the Google API interface right now only support video coming from the G Cloud storage?
No, so it depends on where you are putting the video. So the video MP4 you gave, is it like, how did you add it?
So there's the video geolocation URL. I
Yeah,
just hard code that
to
because
to this video link, right?
yep.
Yeah, but it won't know how to get it because it's in a like Google Cloud. So whenever it has GS, it interacts it with Google's own, I mean, the storage API.
Oh, I did
So
not. I did not substitute it with the one that expects GS. There's the one where it expects HTTPS.
Oh, okay, I'll see it. But let me show like if we do it here, how it works.
Definitely getting to a really interesting.
Okay, meanwhile, let me see. Let me see. So where did you substitute it? On video should be, okay.
So there's two variables there here. There's the URI, which
This
expects for the GS, and then there's the URL, which
this one, right? This one,
yeah,
right?
URL, yeah.
Yeah, but this is from storage Google APIs, and
I will write the whole thing, like the whole thing. It's gonna be from outside of Google storage.
yeah, but even then, we will have to see how the code is here. So this is no, we need to see where how it's handling it. So that handling is handled. Where is our response?
And then on the right hand side is
One thing that looks odd is there's the video geolocation VID.
Yeah.
I just put a random VID there. Looks like it just needs a unique one, but the original code derived from the video URI. So which is
Oh,
something that
yeah.
might be
You
important.
don't actually, you don't even actually need it. So for example, when I'm running it here, so I just uploaded your video. I just uploaded your video here, right? So this local MP4 is the one you just posted. So I just uploaded it here, and I'm literally not doing anything else. I'm just passing my key, the video file description here, and I'm not even doing anything using LLM till now. I'm just using Open CV to extract your frame. So I extracted 47 frames. This is the MIME type. So this is literally whatever I'm doing with the timestamp. This is, I'm uploading the file. This is the file API. So all the images. So this is, I'm changing it to the image. So here are all the frames. So if I press any of it, you will see it extracted these frames. So this is the image you sent me. Here I'm uploading it to the GenAI service directly to the LLM. And here I wanted to explain the video. So instead of explain, let us. So because since I know what is in the video, if I ask it about location, there is no location information. We'll try also what it does with that. But can you try to guess what is in the video? Explain the video to me. Okay. So first, let us see if it got all the files. And it got, okay, yes. Okay, it got it. And then I run the generation, which gets me into. Oh, I exceeded my quota for today.
Okay.
Okay, very interesting. Give me a second. I should not have exceeded my quota. I should change my API key. Give me a second. I'll get a new key. Okay, let's try. I have to do it from beginning. Oh. Stop. Yes.
open community, more people like to talk, just good look to anyone who like option on their food, drinks. It's catered. There's gonna be a arcade here. Boba, do it yourself boba. We're gonna plug that, but yeah, we're gonna have boba. You can build your own boba. It's just kind of like hang out.
Did you try any other video?
Oh, I tried this.
So it's really
Okay, it didn't work yet.
Yeah, that's the video I tell them to try. And it's directly. I think it has to do with how the interface expects a certain way of how, like, providing the information. But
Because that one was too good to be true.
Sounding like a horse almost.
No, it's like
It's like great.
oh, my lab section finished, so everything is gone. Cannot try anymore.
Oh.
We'll have to do those labs. How they want to say. Well, we'll see. We'll find out.
So you'll, yeah, they could very well has a deep mind.
Do you have any friends at Google?
Talk about this. You could go to that event.
What are they doing now?
It's all
I don't think they're working on AI. They're working on some infrastructure. So.
Like, do they feel tight because of like this technology recently?
Not this specifically, the.
Okay, I am.
Yeah,
How the hell am I over my limit?
that was
Very interesting.
Yes, first thing. Yep.
Okay, last try. Just give me a second. Last try. I have to. This time I'm gonna put my original paid account. So let's see.
Okay, so while you are doing the debugging, I just want to quickly show one slides.
But yeah, join and then I'll post basically you'll get assigned a list and I'll do an ad for that. We appreciate the effort. Yes, yeah, it's just like slash this. And a lot of people were getting a question mark. And that's why I was
Okay, so just a quick update for this credit things. I know you guys mentioned ask about the pricing. So luckily we actually got some credit for the Google Cloud platform for you later on when you want to go home, want to build some things. So you can go to this URL. Maybe you can just take a photo of that. And I believe it's around $5 credit on the GCP. It's not a lot, but I think it's good for you to try out some prototype and some things. So just go to this URL to follow through the links, the steps. You will get probably $5 in your cloud platform credit. Try to use it and to build anything you want to you build. And also feel free to share to us. You know, I'm eager to know what you build when you go back home. I think for again, thank you guys for come here today and bear with us to go through those code labs. If you any questions later, you can email us and also you can contact us on the Slack channel.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I was able to run it. So
okay, you want to share?
Yeah, quickly show it. Okay, so this is like when we run it, this is what we get. The video shows a young woman with bright, colorful hair consulting with a tattoo about the potential tattoo, standing in front of a mirror.
You just gotta share. I don't know if you're sharing your screen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Am I sharing my screen?
We don't see anything, so I just wanted to catch you before you.
Oh, wait. I was sharing, but how come? Wait,
just make sure you're not describing it using your own head,
Okay, so you can see it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here, So this is, I'm using the 1 Pro, not the Vision. So this is the content. The video shows a young woman with broad colorful hair consulting with a tattoo artist about a potential tattoo, standing in front of a mirror in what appears to be a studio. Here is a breakdown: tattoo consultation, woman holding, etc., 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 etc.
Google never let us down.
So you can
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Good job.
you can also do something like this.
How about
And
this? How about prom? Like, what kind of guy does that girl like? Something like that. You think
you are
it's
gonna
able to answer
you're
that?
gonna make it hallucinate so bad. Okay, so here you have the story. Lila tapped her. Oh, okay, maybe I should just copy paste it. Okay, so here you will also see how much candidate token it used. So I'll just paste it in the chat.
I just have their foot impatiently. The butterfly. Oh my gosh. The butterfly is in her stomach, morphing into restless. It's like crazy poetic. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Oh, man.
Okay, so that's about it for today, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. We'll be in touch. Hopefully, we can do more together. This was awesome, awesome crowd, and everyone was so engaged. It's fantastic. Well
Yeah,
done.
absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chris and Carl. I'm not sure if you're still there. Thanks you guys a lot in running on the ground over there, and really appreciate it. Thanks, remember to lead the workshop and answer the questions. Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for
Hopefully,
having
we
me.
come back to someday. We come back to the San Diego. We can do an in-person one together.
Yes, please. That would be
awesome.
great. Yeah, we'll definitely chat. And then, did everyone get a chance to join the Discord and everything? Okay, cool. And yeah, so I'll probably send out a reminder tomorrow morning with the link to the meetup, so you can sign up to come if you want. And then if you miss it, no, don't worry. It happens every month, so don't feel pressured to. So yeah. That's the one. With the say the magic word and all that stuff. Yeah. Cool. All right.
All right. Bye bye.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
See you, Bill.
Bye.